Hey, what's up everyone? I'm back again for another review, and this time I have something very special in mind because today I'm going to be reviewing Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. No, that's actually the title of the movie, by the way. If there is any non-sequel, non-franchise based film I was definitely looking forward to this year, Everything Everywhere All at Once is definitely one of them. I was mainly hooked by this movie just from the trailer alone. Look at it. This is some crazy multiverse action film done by the legendary studio known as A24. Not only that, but I was also interested in this more so after hearing that it's from the directing duo known as the Daniels. If you're not familiar with them, they are mostly best known for directing the film Swiss Army Man, which, if you haven't seen that movie by the way, give it a watch. Because why know Daniel Radcliffe for being the lead in an overrated franchise when you can remember him as the farting, rotting corpse that talks instead? It's a very fun and different kind of movie that really made me hope that we get something else from this talented pair of directors again. So with that in mind, I was very eager to see what this strange multiverse movie was going to offer when it's also from a directing duo who gave us something else very weird and unlike anything else. Now, going out of Everything Everywhere All at Once, I had one question in mind. You ever finish a movie that you felt was so good, so excellent, and fulfill your quota of what you want in a movie that all you can really say is, fuck, I love movies? Well, after witnessing something like this, I can say that Everything Everywhere All at Once is one of those movies. Fuck, I love movies. This film is 100% an experience unlike anything else, yet it also manages to be an amalgamation of so much to love. It's a movie I find hard not to enjoy. The film centers around a woman named Evelyn, a struggling mother and laundromat owner who ends up having to go on this adventure through alternate dimensions. And that's as far as I'll go regarding the plot because this is a movie that is filled with so many surprises that I say it's better to go in blind. However, if you want a good idea of what this movie is, this film manages to be an insane combination of The Matrix, Kung Fu Hustle, Sorry to Bother You, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Spider-Verse, Turning Red, Millennium Actress, Malignant, Birds of Prey, and Ratatouille all into one film. You heard that right. It may sound completely insane, but I'm actually being dead serious that it is essentially all of these films and so many others combined into one crazy movie. Some of the influence can sound pretty obvious, like the multiverse angle from Spider-Verse and a lot of the kung fu elements from the other films I listed being a heavy part of this film. Though, I would also say this film takes a lot from those films in terms of how it's structured, stylized, and themed. To go into all of these would end up making an entire analysis video into itself, but you'll definitely know these elements once you see them, especially the Ratatouille part. It's all crafted well thanks to the undeniable talent the Daniels managed to create with their crew here. The film is amazingly paced as it's close to 2.5 hours long, but it never feels dull during a single moment. That's because the film has such a lively energy and throws so much at you that you're never bored with it. In fact, part of the excitement is just seeing what kind of insanity the film would throw at you next. This is especially apparent during the action sequence, and it almost feels like Edgar Wright just did a combination of LSD and cocaine with how immensely fast and over the top it can get with its visuals. And despite it jumping around to various different styles of genres and set pieces, the movie still manages to be edited really well. I say it's mostly due to the fact that the film never loses sight of its main focus, which is the characters we're centered on here. Michelle Yeoh is excellent as the lead. This character goes through literally everything, and you totally get her frustration, and once you see her handle and compose herself in a better manner throughout the film, you start really getting invested in her crazy life. The supporting cast is also great, with Short Round from Temple of Doom of all people making an appearance as an adult, and he's able to keep up with the film's manic energy so well that you're glad to see him stick around. Not to mention, this is probably the main role Jamie Lee Curtis was building towards after being a victim of Michael Myers' abuse for so many years. All of these visuals and crazy ideas shown here are one thing, but the film also is honest to God deep. Without spoiling too much, I think this film manages to give a true impact to anyone watching it due to how it discusses the struggles of life and what you can maybe do to make it better. I think people will have their own interpretations of this movie in terms of how they combat that, but I personally felt this movie was about the idea of never losing sight of empathy. The idea that, sure, you can think of many different possibilities of where your life might be going or where it could have gone. And sometimes it can be extremely overwhelming with, for lack of a better term, everything coming at you all at once. However, even despite that, you should always try to be aware of the empathy you can give to a person and how powerful that can really be. That sense of understanding and love you can give to a person can come a long way to not only a better life for them, but a better life for you. It makes you realize that the more you can give that sense of empathy, it can actually help someone out during the darkest moments of their lives. Again, I don't want to spoil much, and it's something that could be made for a video on its own, but it's a beautiful movie for really dissecting these kinds of themes in a crazy multiverse martial arts movie at its core. If garbage like Free Guy can get an Oscar nomination for horrible special effects, then there is absolutely no excuse for the Academy to ignore an original, deep film like this. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once manages to be a perfect amalgamation of so much into one gigantic film that's mind-blowingly brilliant. I highly implore anyone with even the slightest interest in this to watch this movie. Don't let this be another original film that gets ignored by the mainstream. This is a film that once you watch it, you will know that something as profound, compelling, and just all around brilliant masterclass of originality, insanity, and heart is more worth your time than any soulless studio cash grab thought up by some hack smuck. So take that for what it's worth. And I'm gonna give Everything Everywhere All at Once a well-deserved fantastic movie. Excellent stuff. Go see it. And I'll see you guys again next time. Later, guys.